Hello and happy Friday. It is July 24th of 2020 and it is now officially 2 years post stem cell transplant, which feels amazing. It's the day I've been waiting for. I say that about a lot of days. I obviously look forward to being able to celebrate, a good thing. We should celebrate all wins, big or small. I have to remind myself that all the time, but to me, this is a big one, obviously, because cancer had or has taken over, my life completely, and um, for obvious reasons. But so yeah, it's recognized in the lymphoma world, though. If you're undetectable or considered undetectable for 2 years means that your chances of relapse are just that much more slim. The chances are significantly less of you relapsing once you hit this 2 year mark. So, um, pretty happy and proud of that. I know it's not down to the day. My body doesn't know it's July 24th and that I got, my stem cell transplant, exactly 2 years ago. And, um, it's not science. I don't need to explain that though. So yeah, no, things that have been going on, or I guess like overall to kind of compare from now till then. Um, I've been noticing I showed a lot of symptoms and I wasn't really putting together that I was sick, but it seems that it was back to the summer of 2015. That is when I started showing symptoms of me being sick. So I didn't end up starting treatment though until about 3 years ago. My initial treatment, just regular chemo and intrathecal chemo. I got 3 years ago, and I saw a picture on Instagram. It was like one of those little memory things, or this day, however many years ago, and um, I was just bald as can be, like no eyebrows. I was very unhappy. I was dealing with a lot of things emotionally and physically, and uh, I was on a lot of medication and just not in a very good place. And to be able to I do this honestly every day where I look in the mirror and I'm just reassessing and kind of reflecting, really, is what, when I'm looking in the mirror, I'm reflecting on this time, a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. So it's good uh, to physically represent how I do feel on the inside. I had a hard time with using my hair as like almost like a gauge of time and wellness, since I've been sick, and that wasn't really fair for me. But um, I feel a lot healthier even just last month. I kind of feel like my energy's coming back. I don't know if that's just me being out in the sun more, or, it being warm and decent out. But I feel like I'm getting stronger still. Um, but comparatively, like, I'm still dealing with like neuropathy. It's bouts on and off for weeks at a time, and then it'll be gone for a couple of weeks. I want to try and find time to log these and concentrate a little bit more on understanding when it does kind of come back, and um, stuff like that, because I do struggle with like typing, or even like cooking. When the neuropathy comes about, I feel super clumsy and stuff like that. So I just need to pay more attention to that. And hopefully, I mean, so far it seems like it's something that's not going to go away. My doctor isn't sure if it will stay around forever. It might be something that wears off, but unfortunately, a lot of your symptoms from chemo just kind of go, untreated or unknown, if it's there's a lot of different things, and it's always kind of like chalked up to it just being from chemo, and there's no, it's like taking Tylenol if I get headaches, or if I have bouts of fatigue, it's take a nap. Like, there isn't really anything I can do about it other than just deal with it, I guess is all that I'm saying. So I've been dealing with neuropathy. I've been having some like really, like, I have nerve damage in my back from my lumbar punctures from getting chemo. And then, as well as, it was last year, I think almost to the day-ish, but I had shingles. It was when I was really stressed out last year, but I ended up getting shingles. Worst pain of my life. But I still have nerve damage in my back from that, so I get really bad muscle spasms and almost like this terrible stabbing feeling. So it seems, I'm hoping that my nerves are still healing. I know it takes a while for them to heal, but I hope that my body still continues to, because it's still pretty painful to deal with. So there's that. I'm still building up my muscle mass again. I lost quite a bit from not being so active or unable to be active. So I do have memory loss issues, or short-term memory loss issues, some confusion. A lot of the time I'm working on trying to figure out what the root cause is, if I can really figure it out. But that's, again, like I said, about chalking it up to chemo. Is it confusion? Is it age? Is it being normal? Or, who knows? I do, though, I bring this up a lot, like, mostly now my challenge is the mental struggle of dealing with it and overcoming a lot of different things. And a lot lately has been, the last video I struggled, with being treated differently, which I think will still continue to be a challenge. I'm just learning to keep my boundaries and whatever, not let people, whatever, that could go off into many other things, but the mental thing's real. I've just been put in like these really weird situations I don't think people usually get put into. Or if they have, like, I guess to me, it's just more of a shocking, sad reality of it all. Or coming to the understanding that you would do something for somebody that they weren't willing to do for you, is kind of what it comes down to, in most cases, here. So I'll continue to be vague. I'm trying to, like, umbrella, like, all these really complex emotions, and it's kind of difficult, especially when I'm trying to keep a video, where this isn't just like a, therapy session, because essentially it is kind of what it is for me, but mostly trying to update symptoms and stuff like that. But yeah, the part I'm kind of starting to really realize is I don't know who I am anymore, in a way. I try to refer to something from prior to me being sick, and it almost doesn't apply anymore. It's like I can't explain to people my abilities or my thought process, because I think a lot of people, of course, I'm going to change emotionally and mentally and physically in all different ways, especially, I think anyone obviously going through something super traumatic and such a big change. I'm finding that it's hard for me to articulate who I am or the reasons why I do certain things, because it's either I've changed because I've set different expectations of myself, or I guess I just grew, I grew quite a bit within this 3 years, and it's been a challenge trying to let people know, like, it's not some, like, things aren't, I'm not willing to do certain things anymore, or if I'm physically unable to do certain things, like, trying to think of an example, but like kayaking is like the only thing I have really. I found myself saying, well, usually I blah, 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 like, and it's not even the case anymore, because I wish I had a better, example, but a lot of it is, yeah, I'll start off the conversation of usually it's this, and then it's like, well, that's not how it is anymore, because of me being sick. God, I wish I had a better example, but, it's kind of defeating. I think it applies mostly emotionally. I know it has applied to things physically, but, emotionally or mentally is like, I'm just not willing to do things that I used to before, entertaining things that I usually wouldn't. I don't put myself in certain situations like I would have before. I think before I was sick, I was definitely, I still struggle with social anxiety. I think I did in a different way, before I was sick. I guess this is kind of what I'm trying to say, is not necessarily something applies before I was sick and not after, but maybe it does and it's just different. So social anxiety, I guess, is a really good example of what I'm trying to articulate. But I definitely had social anxiety prior to being sick, and now this post being sick afterlife. It's like I still struggle with this social anxiety, but it's in a weird, more different way. And I attribute it to like growing in certain ways, and then also, taking steps back, because there's no real right way of dealing with being sick. What I do know is that like certain things, hurt, and I'm trying to work on fixing those, and I'm still trying to praise the growth that I've had, with being sick. Um, so I don't know. I know that applies to probably life in general, but, um, it just living with something for so long, like it was years of being sick and not knowing why, and then it's like years of being sick and knowing why, um, and then just death being, at your back door, um, really changes things and really puts, for me, a lot of perspective. Unfortunately, like for other people, it's the people who can't put themselves in other people's shoes, are the ones I'm really struggling with right now. It's super mentally damaging, and, I don't know. I'm not going to go into detail because I'm trying to really just, again, umbrella complex, details and emotions, into something super vague. So I can't do that, but, overall, I'm really just super happy and proud to be here. Um, it's the journey isn't over, just because it's not detectable doesn't mean it doesn't exist. That's the reality of the situation. Um, I still cling to, um, feeling certain symptoms, or I kind of make this like, association between, I have some really bad days, and I kind of attribute my anxiety or depression some days to the days that I was sick and not sure why. So it almost like I have like this sub anxiety. Like when I get anxiety, I almost get more anxiety or start to panic or get this like trigger, because it brings me back to when I was sick and how bad I felt, emotionally, and physically, just how drained I was. So, um, there's just been yeah, just a lot of things. But I'm overall just, I am happy to be here. I'm happy that I don't have to. I still live scan to scan, but I'm not like I'm not going to radiation every day. I'm not going to, I don't see my oncologist, every 12 weeks anymore. It is now essentially, I have my scan next week, next Tuesday. So after this one, I'm almost certain we're going down to the 6 month, thing where I'm only seeing them, twice a year, which is sad because I adore my oncologist, but, again, getting that anxious feeling in my stomach, having to drive to the hospital and walk the hallways of, where I was for something that was so traumatic and such a terrible experience. It's hard to live with. Or, getting the goal to like get up and go out and do things when things constantly remind you of the hell on earth that you dealt with. I don't know what else to say. So I'm just trying to get through the world with a smile on my face and really just trying to get through it. I'm grateful for how far I've made it. I can't say that enough. Just the reality of the situation is, there's still the mountain to climb. However, I'm grateful for the whole experience of it all, for how bad it was. It's really a mixed emotions, and I'll keep rambling and sound like I'm contradicting myself, but it's huge. So, other than that, I think I'm spending my day today just really reflecting and absorbing the accomplishments, and the growth, celebrating the wins, like I said. So here's to happy 2 years to me, and hopefully many more to come. And I will keep you guys posted on my scan next week. So I hope you all have a great day. Take care of yourselves and talk to you soon.